Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, I'm pretty sure most of y'all have heard this news already. It's big news for a big fight, which a lot of them we getting this year. Big fights, right? Fights that's supposed to happen, fights that should happen, or just damn fights that, damn it, are big because both of the fighters are awesome. You know what I mean? Just big fights. Now, one is in the super middleweight division. That's the division where Canelo is undisputed, right? When somebody's undisputed, it shouldn't really be another fight that's supposed to be a mega fight in that division. But okay, super middleweight division. Now, if you're not familiar with it, let me ask the ones. If you're familiar with the super middleweight division, who's the two baddest dudes in the super middleweight division? If you're familiar, answer that. I'll give you a second. That was a second. If you're not familiar with it, the two baddest dudes in the division are, excluding Canelo, which I'm excluding him anyway, but are David Morrell, the WBC regular champion for about 2 years. Come from Cuba, got only 9 fights, but ridiculously awesome. A lot of people say he didn't have that many fights, but neither did Lomachenko when he got about 2,000 championship fights, right? Lomachenko was good enough in his second fight to get a title fight. So is this guy from Cuba. Bad. David Morrell, bad. I think he got 8 knockouts. Just ridiculous. When you see him, you ain't got to look at him twice. Look at one fight, don't matter which one you look at, you'll know that he's exceptional. And David Benavidez. David Benavidez was already the champion a couple of times. Messed up on the scales. He lost it. One time he took some cocaine. That's what he should by about 21 years old. And then the next time, he lost on the scale, but it was at the beginning of COVID, the very beginning of COVID, when nobody was going anywhere and couldn't train anywhere. And I don't think that was fair. I think he shouldn't have got the title taken. I think everybody during COVID should at least been able to have about 3 extra pounds on them because they couldn't train anywhere. But whatever. So they took the title from him extra so they can give it to Canelo, and that's exactly what they did. They gave it to Canelo. They didn't make Canelo fight it, which means that David Benavidez is still lineal champ, right? He's still lineal champ, and actually your boy needs to fight him, Canelo, but they don't have to, right? So there we are. David Benavidez is the guy everyone has been talking about lately. There's the guy that should be fighting Canelo, and Canelo just refused to fight him about on 3 or 4 different occasions. This latest occasion was about for $50 million. He just don't want to fight David Benavidez, and if you watch David Benavidez fight, then you'll understand why, just like David Morrell. Now, the thing is, David Morrell is the WBA regular champion for 2 years, which means he's the mandatory for Canelo. David Benavidez is the interim champion, and he's lineal champion, which means he's the mandatory for Canelo. Which means these two guys are about to fight, Benavidez versus David Morrell, and I actually don't like it. It reminds me of Andre and Charlo of years ago, because they shouldn't fight. It's like two guys that Canelo don't want to fight, not even in the same sanctioning bodies, and everybody keeps asking them to fight. Because he's supposed to be asking Canelo to fight Morrell, because this is mandatory. The WBA should be forcing him to do so, and the WBC should be forcing Canelo to fight David Benavidez. But no, we'd say, hey, two guys that Canelo don't want to fight, they need to fight. Like Canelo's some kind of king that they got to fight for to fight Canelo. And Canelo ain't better than neither one of them. That's happening again. It's deja vu. That's happened to Andrade and Charlo. So, what I'm saying is these guys have agreed to fight, I think, sometime in October or whatever. Right? I don't even know the date. But they've agreed to fight. And so David Morrell versus David Benavidez is going to be a barn burner of a fight. We'll talk more about it when it's there. It's just the fact that they've signed, which means both of these guys are awesome because they're ready to fight each other. Both of them are dangerous. Benavidez is awesome for taking Morrell fight, and Morrell is awesome for taking Benavidez fight. They're both awesome. Really don't matter who wins because they're both ridiculous. Both of them. They're just awesome that they're going to fight. Only thing that I'm hoping for is, and this is what it should be because this fight is deserving of such, this should be a unification fight. Canelo should be stripped by both of those sanctioning bodies, and this should be the winner of this fight should be a unified champion because he would deserve it. And be a unified champion, at least, because actually the winner of this fight is worthy of undisputed. Because the winner of this fight can beat everybody else. in the division. You see what I'm saying? More or less. Except my boy Demetrius Andrade going up there. You're going to have to fight him, you know, because you're going to have to prove that. You're going to have to prove that, baby, if you can beat Demetrius Andrade. But still, right, it should at least be the winner of David Benavidez versus David Morrell should at least be able to call themselves, after that fight, a unified champion of the super middleweight division. And I know damn well that everybody agrees with that. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I got things to do. We up out of here.